Good morning and happy Friday. This is going to be the best video that you're ever going to watch on motivation, especially if you are a college student. This video that I'm filming right now is about helping you to learn how to create consistent motivation to achieve your goals every single day. If you're wondering how successful students, how successful people always stay positive, always get things done, always have the consistent motivation to work towards their goal, and they move past procrastination, continue watching. But I'm going to warn you, this video that I'm filming right now for you live, which means that you can interact with me, is not going to teach you anything that you do not already know. But what I will tell you is this. It takes sometimes you hearing the same message 15,000 times before it finally sticks, before it actually makes sense to you, before you actually get it. And I'm not talking about getting it on a intellectual level where you're saying, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What I'm talking about is understanding it at a soul level, understanding it so much that it becomes inevitable for you to take action, where it is difficult for you to continue living the way that you're living. My name is Clarissa. I am the creator of She Rocks at College, where I help brilliant college women like you earn better grades without the stress, overwhelm, and lack of social life, so that you can not only see academic success, but life success. I talk about things like productivity, study skills, time management, mental management, emotional management, and everything that you're going to need to not just be successful in college, but be successful in your life. I host a Facebook group on Facebook, obviously. It's called the Secret Study Society. And as part of that Facebook group, before I will allow and accept anyone into that group, I ask them 3 questions. And the reason why I do this is because number one, I want to weed out any students that are lazy and that are not willing to show up for themselves. And if you can't take 5 seconds to answer those questions, then it shows me that you're not going to apply anything that I teach in the group anyway. So I don't want to create an environment where it's full of students who are not taking action. So that's one of the reasons why I have those questions there. And the number one question that I have out of those 3 is, what are you currently struggling with in college? And by far, the most common responses that I get are, I'm struggling with procrastination, and I'm struggling with finding the motivation to study, finding the motivation to stick to my schedule, finding the motivation to do what it is that I need to do to hand in this paper or do this research or study for this exam. And almost instantaneously, my visceral gut reaction is, what do you want me to do about that? Students will come to me and they'll say, I'm struggling with time management. You know, it feels like there aren't enough hours in the day. I can't get myself to do what it is that I need to do. I can't get myself to take action. And my response is, what do you want me to do about that? Because I cannot force you to take action. I cannot force you to stick to your schedule. There is nothing that I can do to make you do what it is that you need to do. And often what I think is happening when students are coming to me and they're expressing to me that they're struggling with motivation, that they're struggling with procrastination, or that they're struggling with time management, is that they're hoping that I'm going to create this plan for them that's going to miraculously, out of nowhere, give them this special secret sauce that automatically just like fills them with motivation and automatically makes them stop procrastinating. Nothing exists like that in this world. Not one thing. And what I tell students is, you're coming to me because you're struggling with time management. Let me see your study schedule. And what I find is that most of the time, they know exactly how to build a study schedule. They know exactly how much time they have every single day. They have it all laid out. So I ask, what is the problem? And they say, well, I sat down and I bought a planner. Great. But I never remembered to look at the planner. What do you want me to do about that? I can't go to your house every single day and stuff the planner in your face. They'll say to me, I went through all the chapters and I marked them off, but I can't get myself to read it. What do you want me to do about that? I created this study schedule, and it's beautiful because on Sundays I have days off, which is great. I have a whole day to myself. I've given myself breaks in between. I've made sure that everything fits, but I can't get myself to stick to it. What do you want me to do about that? I promise you that nobody on this planet wakes up every single day motivated to do hard things, motivated to do things that are going to help them achieve their goals, because oftentimes those things that they need to do to get them closer to their goals are hard. They require a lot of effort. They're not easy to do day in and day out. But why is it that there are some students who can stick to their schedules, who can study even when they don't feel like it, who can study even when they're tired, who can achieve their goals, and there are other students who can't? Why is that? Well, that's what I'm going to tell you about right now. I'm going to teach you how to create motivation for yourself, because motivation doesn't just pop up one day. It's not always going to be there. So what you need to learn to do every single day is learn how to create that motivation for yourself, to generate it so that you can do what it is that you need to do to live the life it is that you want to live. So the first thing that I do to generate motivation, and listen, the things that I do are the things that high performers, that some of the most successful people on the planet do. Why do I do it? Because I learned from them. And that first thing that you need to do is you need to have a clear vision. You need to have a vision. What I mean by that is, when I think about my life, when I picture what I want She Rocks at College to be, I can tell you exactly what the office looks like. I can tell you the amount of staff. I can tell you that there are blackboards everywhere, sticky notes everywhere. I can tell you what the logo on the front of the building looks like. I can tell you how everybody dresses in there. I can tell you how I dress. I can tell you the things that we create. I can picture the end aisle of Target laid out with She Rocks at College academic year planners, with wall calendars, with notebooks. I can tell you the kind of money I have in my bank account. I can tell you what it looks like when I wake up in the morning with my husband and my 3 kids. I actually know what it feels like every day to wake up living that life. I have a vision of where it is that I want to go. And when I was in college, I knew the kind of life that I wanted when I crossed that stage and got my diploma. I knew the kind of labor and delivery floor I wanted to work on. I knew how many hours a week I wanted to work. I knew what I wanted to feel walking up the stairs to my floor every single day, the kind of scrubs that I wanted to wear, the kind of people that I wanted to work with, the kind of money that I wanted to make, the relationship, the quality of life that I had every single day, the hours that I wanted to work. If you do not give yourself a reason to study every single day, if you do not give yourself a reason to attend lecture, if you do not give yourself something to fight for, what is the point? Why would you want to spend 2 hours studying today if you don't see the connection that it has to the bigger picture in your life? It's so hard to wake up every single day and do hard, difficult, boring, tedious things if you do not know what it is connected to. If you do not know what it is building up towards. And I say this all of the time. If you're lacking motivation, the definition of motivation is to give yourself a motive. To give yourself a motive, a purpose, a reason to want to take the action. If you have not yet sat down and wrote out what you want your life to look like when you graduate college, I do not want to hear that you're struggling with motivation. I do not want to hear that you can't get yourself to stick to a schedule. I do not want to hear that you cannot get yourself to do your reading. Because no one is going to give you the motivation. It's not going to come packaged up in a pretty box and handed to you. No one is coming to save you. And for some reason, every single one of us at some point has this idea that someone else is supposed to motivate us, that someone else is supposed to inspire us to want to do better in our lives. Nobody cares. Everybody's worried about their own stuff, their own lives, their own goals, their own achievements. I don't have time to spend my whole life trying to motivate you to do things that you don't care to do. Nobody does. No one is going to fight for you as hard as you fight for yourself. But if you don't know what you're fighting for, you're not going to pick up a hammer to defend yourself. You're not going to pick up a piece of paper and your textbook and write notes because you don't know what it's all for. And it's not just for a diploma. It's not just for a 3.5 GPA. It's what that 3.5 GPA is going to do for your life, how it's going to change your life in the future. What are you fighting for? I need you to take out a piece of paper every single morning like I do. I sit down with my journal and I write down what I'm fighting for. I script out my vision. I remind myself of the amount of women that I want to help. College women like you. What me showing up does for your life. The kind of difference it's going to make in my children's lives when I have them. The kind of relationship I want to have with my husband. The kind of legacy I want to leave so that when someone thinks about me when I die, I know the kind of things that they're going to say about me, about my character, about what I valued. That is what I'm fighting for. And that is how I stay motivated every single day because I remind myself of it. So 1, you need to have a strong vision that is worth fighting for. 2, get yourself some goals. And I'm talking about big, audacious, scary goals that you feel like you might not hit. And I'm not talking about goals like Oh, I'm going to go to the gym this week. Those aren't goals. Those are to-do lists. I'm not talking about a goal of, I'm going to read, all the chapters this week. That's not a goal. That's a to-do list. A goal is, I'm going to hit the dean's list every semester. A goal is, I'm going to lose 25 pounds. A goal is an outcome. It's a result. Reading your books, going to the gym 3 times a week, those are just actions. That's a to-do list that helps you to achieve the result. I'm talking about, what are you working towards? What is the outcome? What is that milestone that you're trying to hit? And if you want to stretch yourself, and if you want to become the person who achieves those kind of goals, like getting on the dean's list, getting scholarships, getting into graduate programs, you need to stretch yourself and make your goals big, because it forces you to learn the skills that it will require to help you to achieve the goal. It'll force you to come up with the plan to help you achieve the goals. It'll force you to change your character to a person who achieves those goals. You cannot achieve goals bigger than you staying the way that you are. It forces you, when you have big goals, it forces you to stretch and to grow into the person who would achieve that. When I sit down to work on my to-do list every single day, and there are days where I don't feel like doing the things that I need to do, but I ask myself, if I want She Rocks at College to be a household name, if She Rocks at College is a household name, how would the CEO of that company show up every single day? How would she show up? She surely would not procrastinate. She surely wouldn't say, I don't need to do this today. No, she would show up on her freaking A game every day. Every day she would show up on her A freaking game. So when you write your goals, you need to write them as though they have already happened. She Rocks at College is a household name. The College Productivity Kit is sold worldwide in Target stores, and they sell out. We have helped over 100,000 college women learn how to study and increase their grades, their GPAs, by 10 points. Looking at my goals as though they have already happened forces me to do things that will make them happen. It forces me to become the woman who makes that happen. And doing all of those things leads to the bigger goal that I have for myself, that vision that I talked about. Step number 1, get yourself a vision. Step number 2, write yourself some goals that stretch you, that challenge you, and that force you to grow and learn skills and become a person who actually achieves them. And write your goals as though they have already occurred. And you don't need to go crazy and write 5-year goals. I'm talking about, what do you want to achieve in the next 90 days? What do you want to achieve in the next month? Number 3, take some freaking action. Launch yourself into action. I don't know if you have heard of Mel Robbins, but she has an incredible book called The 5-Second Rule, and it's also a TED Talk. So if you YouTube TED Talk Mel Robbins, she has a 5-second rule, and it's literally this simple. She counts down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When she hits 1, she launches herself into action like a rocket ship. You need to practice doing that every single day. Every day, count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm getting out of bed. On 1, you're out of the bed. On 1, I'm gonna go sit down at my desk. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go sit at your desk. You need to practice doing things that you don't want to do. You need to practice getting yourself to do things you don't want to do. You need to do it every single day where it becomes a habit. Habits are actions. And the only thing that produces results are actions. No amount of affirmations, visualizations will make something happen. Unfortunately, we don't live in Harry Potter world. We're not that magical. The vision, the goals help us to tune into what we want and fight for it. But at the end of the day, we're human, which means we need to take action. Actions are the only thing that produce results. The only thing. And it's the one thing that no one else can do for you, unless they're threatening your life to get you to do it. And I don't think you want to be under that kind of stress every day. I don't think you want to live a life where the only way you'll do something is if someone tells you that if you don't do it, they're going to take your life. Because that's literally the only way that someone else can force you to take action, is to threaten you. And how sad is it that that's what it's going to take for you? Isn't that sad to think that you can't get yourself to take action, and that that's the level of craziness that you need to go to actually want to do something? Launch yourself into action. It's the only thing that's going to get you closer to your goals. Every day, I sit down for 5 to 15 minutes after I eat breakfast, and I write out what my vision is. What am I fighting for? I write the same goals every day, as though they have already happened. Some people might think it's crazy. I don't care. I don't care, boo. I'll see you later when I'm successful. Bye. I'm going to keep doing the things that help me to live the life that I want to live. Who wants to be successful? Who wants to achieve every goal that they have set for themselves? Who wants to live an incredible life? Do these 3 things and do them every day. And a year from now, you're not going to recognize who you've become. You're not going to recognize your life because it's going to be so damn good. Because you're going to be so damn proud of yourself. I'm creating this video today because I'm sick of answering this question, to be honest with you. Because I have no other way to slice it. I don't know what else to say. My response for the past month to students has been, what do you want me to do about that? What do you want me to do about the fact that you don't want to take action? What do you want me to do about the fact that you don't want to do the work? What do you want me to do about the fact that you can't stick to your schedule? What do you want me to do about the fact that you don't want to look at your planner? And I've given them these 3 steps. And how many students have actually applied it and done it? Very few of them. And they come back a week later. I still can't stick to the schedule. Well, did you do what I told you to do? No. I can only do so much. Can only do so much. No amount of me wanting it for you is going to make it happen for you. I can pray every day for you. I can want it so bad for you. But if you're not willing to fight for it yourself, if you're not willing to do it yourself, if you're not willing to go hard, as I'm going hard for you, there's nothing that I can do. You need to want it bad enough. And you need to want to do the hard things that it takes to make it happen. So if you're serious about changing the fact that you're always procrastinating, if you're serious about generating motivation, do these 3 things today. What are you fighting for? What's your big vision? What kind of life do you want to live? What is this degree going to do for you? And why is it so important? What are you fighting for? What are you waking up every day for? Why are you spending money to get this education? What's your vision? 2, what are your goals for the next month? Okay? And remember the difference between a goal and a task. A goal and a to-do list. A goal is, I'm going to make the dean's list every semester this year. A task or a to-do list is, I'm going to read my textbook today. There's a difference. One forces you to step into the role of someone who actually makes the dean's list, which creates your to-do list for you. Because someone who makes the dean list reads their chapters, they write notes, they attend lecture, they study when they're supposed to study, not at the last minute. A goal forces you to become and take action and create to-do lists that help you to achieve it. And use the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 principle at least once a day to do something you don't want to do. It could be as simple as the dishes. On 1, I'm getting up and I'm going to wash a dish. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. On 1, I'm going to dance right now to give myself some energy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and dance. Do what you got to do. Because actions are the only things that produce results. And Amy's right where she says we have to do it for ourselves. No one else can do it for us. It's true. It's so true. So, that's it. That's all I got for you today. And for some of you, this might have been the time that you needed to hear it. And like I said, nothing that I'm sharing today is anything secret. It's not anything new. You've probably heard this 1,000 times, but you need to ask yourself, have I been doing what I know that I need to do? Have I been doing the visioning? Have I been doing the goal setting? Have I been leaping into action? Because that's the only thing that's going to change your situation. Hope that you found this helpful. Amy, thank you. She said, I'm a good motivation, but motivation wanes. So what are you going to do when it goes away? Because I'm not going to be around forever, right? I'm actually leaving in 2 seconds. So what are you going to do to keep this motivation going? I gave you those 3 things: vision, goals, launch self into action. Do that consistently for a month. And tell me whether or not you're still procrastinating. Because I am willing to bet you that you won't be. I hope that you have an amazing weekend. Bye.